We've been keeping an eye on the Detroit Lions defense throughout the NFL season, ranking where they are at the end of every week heading into the next week. And they have not disappointed. Out of the 7 weeks that we've been doing this of the 2025 NFL season, the Detroit Lions have been top 10 in overall defense, which are yards per game, total yards per game, 4 of the 7 times. And of course, could they remain top 10 after having a bye week? Now, you would think not much would change from having a bye week, but a few things went up, a few things went down, and a few things stayed the same. Without further ado, here is the Detroit Lions defense through the first 8 weeks of the season. Now, of course, this is going to be skewed, both good and bad, because they were off in week 8. Here is and what we're going to do is we compare the defense from the previous week to the current week. So this is the Detroit Lions defense through week 7 heading into week 8. Again, week 8 was the Detroit Lions bye week. In total defense, they were 8th at 300 yards per game. Passing defense, they were 16th, which they allowed 212.3 yards a game. Rushing, they were 5th, allowing 87.7 yards per game. Sacks, they were 3rd with 23 sacks. Points per game, they were 12th with allowing 21.6 points per game. And turnover differential, they were actually 4th, allowing a +6. That is, if you take the number of giveaways, number of takeaways, you are left with the difference. All right, so here is where the Detroit Lions have actually gone up and down respectively. Heading into week 9 after week 8, again, you can see that the Detroit Lions were in their bye week. They remain 8th at yards per game. Total defense, so they stayed the same, still with 300. Passing defense, they actually stayed the same at 16th, allowing the 212.3 yards per game. Rushing, they actually went up, even though none of their numbers changed. They actually went up. So you won't see a difference in any of their numbers to the far right, but their rankings will change based on what the teams that did play, what they wind up doing. So rushing, even though their numbers stayed the same, we went up 1 spot from 5th to 4th with 87.7. Sacks, we actually dropped down 2 spots from 3rd to 5th with the number of 23 still. Now we have 4 teams ahead of us. Points per game, another area that we went up even though we didn't play, went from 12 to 11 with 21.6. And turnover differentials, we actually dropped down, again, not having played, from 4th to 5th with the still +6 turnover differential. So again, this is now, out of the 8 weeks that we've been doing this, the Detroit Lions have been in the top 10 5 of those 8 weeks. That is tremendous. This is the type of defense that I believe we can win the Super Bowl with. I truly believe that. Total defense, if we can keep teams down, our points per game are just outside. If we look at the points per game, and let's compare, let's do this, because I still have all of the week rankings and since we're at the halfway point of the season, let's look at the rankings for the entire season. So of course, after week 1 heading into week 2, there was no comparisons, and we actually were just outside of the top 10 in week 2. Now, after week 2 heading into week 3, we moved into the top 10 for the very first time of the season. So that's 1 week in the top 10. In the 3rd week, we fell out of the top 10, and that is that. And then if we go down to week 4 and we do that, that's another week that we spent out of the top 10. Then we get back in the top 10 in week 5. We stay in the top 10, even though we dropped down a week in week 6. We are still in the top 10 in week 7, and of course, still in the top 10 in week 8. Now, if we look at the points per game during that time, let's see, that's what I should have been looking at. Where are points per game? So after week 1 heading into week 2, we were 26th. Then we jumped up to 21. Let me know if you get the reference in the comments below. We were 23rd in week 4 after week 3. We were 15th in points per game in week 4. We dropped down to 16th in week 5, dropped down to 17th in week 6, and then week 7, we moved up in 12. So actually the defense is getting better, and then we top it all off with, 11 heading into week 9. This is outstanding. Kelvin Shepherd, much between the talent that we have on our team and the coaching change, I think the Detroit Lions their defense is leaps and bounds better than Aaron Glenn. And I think what it is Aaron Glenn, just like how he is in New York, he was stubborn. There were things that he needed to change and adapt. He just wouldn't do it. He would stick to something. Now he did have his good games, like the sideline game when he was sitting, when we blew out a particular team, and then the game against Green Bay in the rain, the meme game, right? Actually, he put a bunch of those together. But I think overall, the defense is playing much better than we were under Aaron Glenn. And yes, you can add that to the additional personnel. We've got DJ Reed as opposed to Carlton Davis. We've got Tyleik Williams. But I mean, the core of our defense has really stayed the same. Marcus Davenport was a non-factor last year. He's a non-factor this year. So, and Mohammed, we didn't even have him this time last year. And if he did, he didn't play. He hadn't played really yet. So I don't really remember when we got him, but I know he was either here for 7 to 9 games. So to me, the defense is pretty much the same, but the game plan, the coaching is different. And I'm going to say the coaching is better. If the Detroit Lions can stay in the top 10 in points per game or yards per game, and they can get into that top 10 as the half of the season stretches on in points per game. So you got yards per game, which is total defense. If they can stay in the top defense for points per game and get into the top 10 defense and oh my God, I'll get it right. If they can stay in the top 10 defense and yards per game, which is total defense, and they can crack the top 10 defense and stay there in points per game, then I think that's a true Super Bowl defense. I think that's our offense is number 1, number 3, top 5, and it's been like that for the past 2.5 seasons, right? I don't know where it ranks now. It actually ranks number 3, which is fine by me, because put in the comments below, when was the last time the Detroit Lions ranked number 3 as far as at the end of the season? Well, I'll give it to you. 2023, we were the number 3 defense, and we went all the way to the NFC Championship game. Number 3 offense, I'm sorry. But if our defense was up there, I think our defense was 18 to end the season. If our defense can crack the top 10, stay in the top 10, and we have a top 5 offense, I think we're good enough to win the Super Bowl. We just need that one extra piece to take us over the hump, and you already know what I think that is. All right, so let's do what we do. Let's bring in the comparison report with Tim Twentyman and see what's up with our third down defense. Now, I don't know if they've changed much. It doesn't look like they've changed much from the last time we did this. Third down defense is 37%, 37.7, which is 14th in the NFL. So we sit about half, a little less than half. And then red zone efficiency, 23. So we're in the bottom third of the NFL in red zone, and of course tied for 5th in takeaways. I would like to see these numbers up. Remember, our third down defense was number 1. Our red zone defense was number 1. We were top 3 or top 5 last year in both of these categories, if I remember correctly. I want to see these numbers up. I really do. If we could do that, then it'll be ball game. It really would. So let me know what you think down in the comments below about the Detroit Lions defense. Do you think we can sustain this? I mean, we're doing relatively well. We're not taking as many hits as we were last year. Yes, we lost DJ Reed, but it's not for the season. Yes, we lost Terrion Arnold, but it's not for the season. People like Marcus Davenport, we expect him to be lost for the season, right? Don't get mad at me. I'm just telling the facts. The facts are nobody expect Marcus Davenport to play a full season. So we'll see. And the trade deadline is coming. The Detroit Lions could make a move. I actually got some information for you guys that I'll put out in another video. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. This video is usually done on Wednesdays, but I went out, had dinner with my family yesterday, came home, and instantly I laid down, calling myself taking a nap, and I woke up the next morning. So you'll get this video usually comes out on Wednesdays, so look for it there. We've been consistent with all our power ranking videos, all our defensive ranking videos, and all the the prediction videos, which drop every Friday, no matter what day the game is on. So those 3 things, I said to myself I was going to finish this year, and we're doing just that. Don't forget, we got 2 more days, today and tomorrow, of the Cancer Cares Lions Syndicate pink shirts, hoodies, and hats, and then we will push that back to next year. But of course, the regular merchandise will be available. This channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. It's because of your support I get to do what I do. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. Can't wait to Sunday.